I think the Arcane was tricking Victor to thinking he was helping people, because like when he's talking to Singed about helping Warwick, he was like, I won't sacrifice his humanity for your plans or whatever. That shows like his intentions right there. So I don't think he even knew that he was making like empty vessels of people. So that was really the Arcane wanting to like spread itself.
Huh?
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, that motherfucker, the hex tech was trying to spread, bro.
Bro, it could have spread on me, bro. I was ready.
Oh my
Like, I've been trying to
god.
get hexed up for like 2 acts, bro. 3 acts. I
Oh
don't know how
my
many
god.
acts. I've been trying to get hexed. And then when I saw them all hexed up with like the little robot, little morphin thing or whatever, I was like, sheesh, give me some of
Yeah.
that.
This is Knuckles, and I'm back. I've been away for a while, but I'm back to kick some butt at Wild Candy. I shall find all the lost pieces of the Master Emerald here. I'm gonna get those fools. They wanna play with my
What is going on, YouTube? It is Old Psycho and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to talk about some Arcane. I wanted to take some time to gather my thoughts on this series. I feel like everybody's just rushing to be first when it comes to new shows these days. I feel like for me to properly give an opinion on this show, I need to like gather my thoughts because there's a lot to unpack when it comes to Arcane. Now, this isn't a video essay. I'm not here to tell you about the meaning of life and how Arcane shows you that. These are just my thoughts. Now, I was waiting for this show for a long time. I didn't think we was getting a season this soon. When you think about it, season 1 only came out about 2 years ago. I feel like that's very short for animation this good. Usually it takes let's say, I think anime movies take about like 3 years. I remember them saying like that season 2 wasn't going to take as long to make as season 1. Season 1 took about, what was it, about 6 years to make. So when I found out about that information, I was kind of worried about season 2. I thought it was going to take a long time. If you guys know anything about me, I hate waiting for shit. I hate when producers or whoever is responsible for announcing things, I hate when things get announced so early and it's basically just up in the air when that thing is coming out. As far as animation goes, I think the biggest craziest announcement we ever gotten was probably Beyond the Spider-Verse. We thought that movie was gonna come out like what, 2023? Apparently the movie was nowhere near finished, which is insane. I thought Arcane was gonna take about like 3 to 4 years to come out with season 2, but I was very much wrong about that. Now, when season 2 came out, there was a lot of people discussing about the show before it was all over. I was reserving my thoughts until everything was finished. I was still geeking out. I was still geeking out over like the visuals, like Jinx and fucking Jace, Echo, and Heimerdinger tweaking out over Hex Tech and stuff like that. I was geeking out over that shit.
Because the first thing I said when my nigga popped up was, that's my nigga, Echo. That's my nigga. That's the first thing I said.
So
there ain't never gonna be another one like him.
That ability that he was doing, that's his ult from League. That nigga ulted like 17 times.
There ain't never gonna be another one like him. Ever. I want this to go
This
down.
nigga went to another universe. He like, nigga, I'ma give it's like everything is better in that whole universe. The first thing he says, like, damn, I gotta get back.
I need to get
nigga,
back.
what kind of person? What the fuck is?
You the realest one in the world.
What?
There ain't never gonna be another one like
Every
you,
other
Echo.
person would have just fucking stayed, bro. And he's like, nah, I gotta get back.
He got the girl. Zion looking like the greatest place in the world for him. All his homies there. He said, nah, I gotta get back. There are people that need me. And that's why this video has to be made, because it has to go down in history that this man right here, Echo, EKKO, is the greatest nigga. There ain't never gonna be another one like him. I just want you to know that. I want the whole world to know that.
Common thing that I heard was that season 2 is very fast paced. Like, there is a lot of things that we could have had some more time on instead of getting some exposition and stuff like that, or just things be explained. We got a lot of music videos. A lot of people were complaining about the music videos. For me, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I don't have like a TikTok attention span, but I have a pretty short attention span. Like, you gotta hook me in pretty quickly before I start like getting bored or uninterested. So I feel like these music videos done a really good job at showing me what's going on instead of telling me what's going on. I hate when shows or movies, they kind of like sit you down and they kind of just explain the story to you. Like, it's like bullet points that they have to cover through the dialogue on what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it. Arcane didn't really do this. I feel like they could have done it just a little bit, but I feel like what they did with the music videos, showing what's going on without extensive exposition, I think it was pretty good. Now, there are some things that I feel like we kind of missed out on. I feel like that scene with Echo and Jinx where he's trying to convince her not to, you know, basically delete herself. I think that could have been a lot longer.
Jinx was funny. Jinx was funny as hell. She didn't give a fuck what that nigga was saying to her.
Yeah, facts. Bro.
You're like, I just think you can check. Bah.
You're like, oh, explosion not working? I'm just fall off there. Fuck it. Like,
Right? There was certain moments where I'm like, bro, go back to like the important characters. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, you could argue that all the episodes could have been at least 10 minutes longer with everything. Like, there were so many plot threads, there was so much going on that I feel like we needed more time to wrap the bow around this thing, you know? Because we had the Mel Medarda stuff, we like with all the Noxus plot lines and the Black Rose, we had what else? We had Echo, Heimer, and Jinx with the... Not Echo, Heimer, and Jinx. Echo, Heimer, and Jace with the Hex Core. We had Victor's storyline, Caitlyn and Vi. And then with Jinx, like, it was just so much going on between Piltover and Zaun. And I forgot, we have Singe in the mix as well. There's so many things. And I feel like only 9 episodes, even though each of them were about 45 minutes, it just wasn't enough time to wrap everything up. Now, I do feel like with the time that they were given, they did it pretty well. They did it way better than what we would see from other shows who are a lot... I feel like they did a lot better than other shows that are a lot longer than Arcane. And if you're someone who watches a lot of shows like I do, I think you'll agree with that statement. So to talk about that point with the music videos, I feel like the music choices in Arcane are top notch. Not only do I like the music, I feel like all the music fits each scene that they're placed in. With every genre that they use and the scene that they use the music in, I feel like it fits perfectly. My favorite being that 21 Pilots song that played during... Oh yeah, this is gonna be spoilers, by the way. That 21 Pirate... I'm tongue-tied, guys. That 21 Pilots song that played during Victor's transformation. That was a very sick scene. Or Ashes and Blood. That's a fan favorite right there. It has, like, I think over 60 million views on YouTube right now. It is a crazy track. Oh, what else? In that other scene that played during that Savika fight, I think it was episode 2? Was it episode 2? Yeah, it was episode 2. No, not episode 2. Fuck. Am I tripping? Was it episode 2? It was one of the fuck episodes. You know what fucking episode I'm talking about. But yeah, that was a good one. Like, I can't name a single bad song. I should low-key make like an Arcane song tier list in another video. Let me know if you guys want to see that. And drop your favorite song in the comment section below. You know, cause man, these songs are fucking great. Now, as for the ending, as we were approaching the ending of the show, like, we're going through episode 7 was top notch, the best episode in the entire show. Episode 8 was pretty good. Episode 9, like, as we're getting close to the ending, I'm like, okay, can we gotta wrap this up, and I feel like we were kind of running out of time very, very fast, you know? And I feel like there was some things that could have been cut, like Caitlyn and Vi, they're pretty cool. Actually, I don't really like Caitlyn, to be honest. I love Vi. I don't really like Caitlyn. That scene, you know what scene I'm talking about, that happens in that prison cell, I feel like that either could have been shortened or cut for the sake of having more story between Jace, I mean, not Jace, between Jinx and Echo. I feel like that should have been a very important scene, and I feel like a lot of characters, some of the other characters in the show, could have had more screen time to flesh out their story.
And then we got our lesbian sex scene, which we knew was gonna happen. Good for them. I'm glad they finally did the deed. Had a little funny little moment in there. It was about time. And then and they did it in like a tasteful way.
Yeah, it was alright. I wish it happened like earlier, cause at that point I'm like, okay, like I want to see the other characters like Echo and shit like that, like, cause too many important things were happening in that episode for me, like, cause I'm like, yeah, cause I'm like, all right, can we like move on, like we gotta get back to the
Yeah, like this is great, but hey, my boy Savior's over there.
Yeah, so... I'm like, we kind of have like a dying timeline.
Like Jinx literally just left and said she's gonna kill herself. Can we get back? And the second we get back, the boy Savior. That's what this whole title of the video is.
Actually, no, that was like the last episode. Now I think about it, that was happening in like episode 9, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I was like, yeah, we gotta get back to the like.
Yeah, like we gotta like wrap it up, all right, ladies.
Right. And now I understand what they mean by like Arcane is canon, cause now we got multiple universes and stuff, so they're like, okay, yeah, whatever we make is canon, type shit on some DC shit. So I'm like, oh, so the Rune Terror that we see in like League, the card game Rune Terror, that's a different one than Arcane. And we also have the skin universes too, like the Star Guardians, the Battle Academia one and shit.
I was like, the glorious evolution. I'm here for the glorious evolution. I was ready. I was down to clown.
They started flowing and shit. I'm like, oh, snap.
I started floating.
So it makes me think like, what the fuck is going on with Hex Tech in the main timeline? Cause everybody using that shit.
Yeah. And
there's like no issues like at all. Like I don't know what's going on in that timeline. And I remembered there was an interview, they said this might not be the last time we see these characters, and I can definitely see that with the way they ended it off. Like I got like a fucking MCU vibe from it, but it's not like as bad to where, you know, we're getting the corny after credit scene and shit. Like a new character pops up and they have like a one-liner and then they cut the movie off. So I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good ending. I didn't like it 100%, but it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
With the pace that they were going, it could have been way worse. Cause like we got to the last episode, I'm like, damn, we wrapping this all up like in this one episode. I think we was gonna fight for like 3 episodes straight, but I like the way that they did it.
Yeah, I think the hardest part of creating something, especially something like this, is that ending. Right, and you're never gonna make everyone satisfied, but you still gotta wrap it up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like especially in Act 3, I feel like those characters could have had more time to flesh out the story instead of certain scenes like that, and maybe even some scenes from Act 2 of Season 2. You know, but I'm not really a writer. I'm not really a writer. I'm not a show director, so I'm just giving my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think on that subject. I feel like there are some things that could have been shorter to extent. When it came to the end of the show, I was geeking out when I saw Echo using his abilities from the game. I feel like it was very smart to give him his powers with the. It was basically he was using a whole separate hex core, his own hex core to combat Victor's, and I feel like it makes the Z drive make sense. I think that's very cool. I remember I was telling my friends, I was like, bro, when Echo comes back, he is going to fix everything. He is going to come in and clutch out the whole story. And that's exactly what happened. Echo comes through, he's popping his ult every 5 seconds, and he literally saves everybody. This whole story is wrapped up through Echo, and I think that's just amazing. Echo is like my favorite character alongside Victor in this whole story, and I feel like they did his character much justice. Now when it comes to the ending, so I've been hearing a lot of talks that this kind of fucks up the canon. I'm just confused because they're saying Arcane is canon to the League lore. I don't know how. I don't know how that works. You know, how does this tie in to the League lore? Because when you look up all the stories for the Piltover and Zaun characters, even the updated ones, it kind of doesn't really match what is shown in Arcane. So they're gonna have to do a lot of reworking when it comes to that, unless they're going the whole multiverse route. Because here's the thing. So like with Heimerdinger, he's completely different from what we see in the League or the Legends of Runeterra lore. I play Legends of Runeterra a lot. He is very much different. Jace is very much different. Echo is very much different. Vi is very much different. I actually think I believe Vi has almost nothing to do with Jinx in the actual lore. Caitlyn is also she's more or less the same, but she's more or less tied to this other story, like she's trying to catch this criminal called C, which is another card in Runeterra. That's a whole separate storyline. Now, I have no idea where they're going to go for future projects. I remember they said they want to do Demacia, Ionia, and Noxus. I'm not sure which one they're going to directly do next. Judging by what we see with Mel Medarda and the Crow, that's most definitely Swain. We're probably going to Noxus. I don't know what story that they could cover. We're probably going to go through a plotline with Darius and what was his name? Draven. We might go through a plotline with them. They might do like a whole Game of Thrones-esque story with that. Maybe Swain sees what Piltover and Zaun is doing with the Arcane, and he might try to tap into that. I see some people kind of making that assumption, but I kind of doubt it, assuming that like when you look at that Noxus soldier, he's already using runes. I feel like to the rest of the world, they already know how to work these runes and how to kind of work around stuff like that. Like they already know how to use magic. It was just Piltover and Zaun that were kind of behind when it came to magic. But the thing is, that whole city was made to not use magic, and there was a reason for that, because like across the whole world, you know, magic is used as a very, very, very destructive tool. I was gonna say unless you go to Ionia, but you can say they kind of use it as a destructive tool there as well, especially when you consider Zed's powers and what he's doing and stuff like that. Yasuo's whole story. Yeah, that's probably the most magical place in all of Runeterra besides maybe the Shadow Isles. I feel like a Bilgewater story would be pretty cool. But it'll probably be a while before we see a story on that. Maybe we'll see some Bilgewater characters in future stories. You never know. But yeah, overall, yeah, Arcane is most definitely like at least a 9 out of 10. Like I don't see how anyone can put it lower unless it's just their subjective opinion. This is one of the best shows that I've ever watched, you know, and it's gonna be a long time before I see anything that kind of matches it or even supersedes it. So yeah, yeah, I think this is an awesome show. As for like, man, it's gonna be hard watching anime because no anime that I watch in this current season and maybe in a future season is probably gonna top this, unless I've been getting some recommendations, you know, so I'll probably go through my list. But yeah, it's gonna be a while before anything else hits after Arcane. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who's your favorite character in Arcane? I want to know your favorite song, your favorite episode, your favorite everything about this show. And alongside your comment, I want you to leave a like and also subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I will see you all later. I'm trying to be consistent for the rest of the year. And yeah, I feel like I'm doing pretty good, guys. Let's try to grow. So yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.